Welcome back. This time, we are in the San Juan Mountains, camping at the Pine River Campground. After, we're getting out of the rig to explore and backpack to over 10,000 feet. Come along as we discover the Weminuche Wilderness. The road leading up to the campground is your typical forest road, with a gradual gain in elevation. Collaboration between Off-Grid on Trail and the Feral Backpacker, our two channels, and sometimes along our journey, we combine the two things that we love, overlanding and backpacking. Making my way to the campground where I will be spending the night before hitting the trail tomorrow. Arriving at the campground, I was eager to get set up and see what kind of views that I would have. There are a handful of sites here, and they have picnic tables and fire rings. Pine River Campground is conveniently located right at the Pine River trailhead that I'll be backpacking tomorrow. All right, I am all set up here at camp in the Weminuche Wilderness and Pine Creek Campground. Sun is getting ready to set over the mountain there. Got all set up. Got a beautiful view of these mountains back over here. So I'm just going to be here doing some backpacking over the next several days in this area. I'm going to go ahead and get dinner going, just so I can eat and get all that put away and cleaned up before the sun goes down, because bear country here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. We're gonna have some burgers with some onion and tomato, and just a simple setup here. I have my bed platform. It's gonna be great. Alright guys, got the cast iron all cleaned up, burgers are plated, and now it's just time to eat. The next morning, I just got my gear together before I hit Pine River Trail to head up to Emerald Lake. Got a deer right over here. I filled out the registration log real quick before hitting the trail. Alright, I'm all signed in on the list there. Day one, folks, and it's already beautiful. This wilderness was named after the Weminuche Native Americans. The Weminuche Wilderness is dissected by a narrow north-south corridor within the Animas River Gorge, through which the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad travels between Silverton and Durango. This wilderness has two geologic provinces. The western third of the wilderness is within the Needle Mountains Proterozoic complex, while the remainder of the wilderness is within the San Juan volcanic field. The first 7 miles of my route today would see relatively little elevation gain. There would be roughly 200 feet of elevation gain from start to where I set camp today. Generally, I like to get out of the rig as much as possible and explore, but travel through this wilderness is limited to those on foot and on horseback. There are nearly 500 miles of interconnected trails in the wilderness, which provide for multiple options for both day and multi-day trips. Forming the backbone to this network is the Continental Divide Trail, which traverses the wilderness 83 miles from Wolf Creek Pass in the southeast to Stony Pass in the northwest. This network of trails is accessed from over 30 trailheads located around the periphery of the wilderness. That's actually pretty funny right there. Somebody took the time to make an arrow out of the horse dung. I guess we're going that way, guys. That's pretty funny. It's kind of comical, the different things that you come across on trail. I remember when I was through hiking the Florida Trail, one of the funny things and more bizarre things that I would see on there is there would be like cut off jeans, like somebody would cut off
their pant legs on their jeans, and they'd hang them on the trees along the trail. And over the 1,500 miles on that trail, I probably came across that 4 times. So it's just interesting that various parts of the states along that trail, I would see the same thing.
This section of Pine River Trail will have you paralleling the Los Pinos River. So I did the Garmin weather forecast for heading out, as there was no signal at base camp, but clouds are starting to form up, which has been nice. It's kind of cooling it down. But I think it had about a 30% chance of showers around 3 p.m. So it's looking like that may be accurate. So it's mid-afternoon now, and I left before eating. Just wanted to get on trail. So I found a nice shady spot here, and gonna have lunch. Gonna have some green chili tortillas, some jerky and cheese.
Better in the stomach than on the back, they say. So I switched it up a little this time. This time I brought the beef sticks and cheese with the tortillas. Normally I have honey and peanut butter. It just hits so good on the trail, and just the sweet and the salt of the peanut butter and the honey. So yeah, just doing something a little different this time. See how it works out. Let me know what you guys do. And this is why we can't have nice things. Douchey people like that, right? They're as bad as the people that bag the dog poop and then leave the bag of dog poop there and don't take it with them. As if that makes any sense at all whatsoever.
I had reached Lake Creek. A nice spot where I would camp for the night. And some sprinkles already coming down. I worked fast to pitch the tent and get everything inside of it.
Okay, well, I'm glad I decided to pitch when I did, way earlier than I wanted to, but the rain's already moving in that they called for, and I most certainly don't want to set up in that. So anyways, found a nice spot next to the creek. Tomorrow what we're going to do is a little change of the plan. Is we're going to start pushing up to Emerald Lake, because I talked to several of the forest rangers that have been working on the trail, and they said that they have done that trail and it is good to go. So I think we'll head up that way and see how everything goes. Well, today I just went up Pine River, and tomorrow I'll be heading up Lake Fork Trail up to Lake Emerald. A little bit of a deviation from my original route, but like I was saying earlier, it looks like the route is clear. So rather than push on to a route that is an unknown, I'm going to take the known, and should be very scenic.
The creek to get water to start filtering. When I returned, I found a convoy of horses and donkeys passing by my camp.
We're right next to the river here, which is awesome. As you can imagine, there's lots of advantages to being next to water. And one of them is this trail was very dry and dusty today. And this is something I've done through hiking the Florida Trail and the Fisherman's Trail over in Portugal. is every day it's nice just to do a little bit of hygiene, get cleaned up. It's like a reset, you know, and being next to the river, you can just fill your water bottle up, get all the dirt and dust and stuff off your legs. You just feel better, and when you get back into your bag and into your tent, you're not bringing all that in with you. Since I got to camp so early and there's a break in weather, it's very scattered, where it looks like it's going to rain really hard, but then it doesn't. It just lightly sprinkles. So I'm going to go ahead and make some coffee. And one of the things I've used for years, I know there's a lot of different things to use, especially now, but I've had it so long, is this MSR Pocket Rocket. And it's worked really well. I've liked it a lot, so I just kind of stuck with it. And I think I'm just going to use it until I can't use it anymore, and then go to something new. But anyways, I just use this Snow Peak 10 here. At home, I use Cafe Bustelo just because I love a really rich espresso. And this is not as good as what I have at home, but it's still pretty good. And there's so many options now. Let me know what you guys use. I'm just kind of curious, being that there's so many options. Man, this is a way to spend the afternoon. Alright, the rain is threatening again, so I'm just going to go ahead and make dinner while the going is good. And if it gets worse later, I can just get in the tent. But I'm going to have the yellow curry with chicken and rice, which I've had before, and it's really good. I enjoyed it. My fancy mittens. Yeah, this is what's coming in again. And I can't tell if it's thunder that I'm hearing off in a distance or something else, but it's possible it's thunder. If you see me snap my head around and look behind me while I was eating, you're not wrong. Just down this canyon here where the creek or the river's coming out of, there was like a large snap or crash or something back in there. So I don't know if a tree fell, a rock fell, or something knocked it over, but Yeah, it was definitely noticeable.
This morning was really nice, and I took my time getting up and out and about.
Good morning. Looks like it's going to be a perfect day. So I'm going to make my way out of here and start packing up and make some coffee.
Alright, so today looks nice. Gonna be making up some elevation today, heading up to Emerald Lake. Curious to see what that looks like up there. Met quite a few people yesterday that had been up there, so hopefully it's scenic, and we'll set camp there.
And finishing my coffee, I started to make my way up to Emerald Lake.
Yeah, definitely more elevation gain today than yesterday. We should be gaining about 1,000, a little over 1,000 feet today. But it's nice. It's something different than what we were doing yesterday.
Today, the route would be taking me on Lake Ford Trail.
And you can really hear the creek down there that we camped on last night. Don't know how that's coming out. Wow. There's the horses that passed me up yesterday. It's a really pretty meadow here. That beaver made quite the beaver dam here. And it's gonna be a good spot for me to just make some lunch. Nice shaded spot. And just like yesterday afternoon, the skies are graying again. I believe it's another 30 or 40% chance of rain. So I went ahead and just repacked a few things into my dry bag. And hopefully we won't need it. We didn't get a whole lot yesterday. But we'll see what happens today.
Getting going, I also took the opportunity to get the debris out of my shoes. I was trying to sneak up on this marmot that you see on the rock, sunning, but I wasn't ultimately successful. At the time, I mistook them for beavers, and later learned they were marmots.
Sneak up on another beaver there. Hopefully he came out. I have a limited zoom on this, but pretty cool. That's 2 for the day.
As I continued to climb, the elevation gain and the grade did not ease up.
We're getting close to the lake now. We've come up all the way down up the valley here, getting above the tree line a little bit for a view. Pretty spectacular. Alright guys, we are nearly there. I'm already getting glimpses of it. It looks spectacular.
The lake would end up being more spectacular than I imagined.
quite a bit of a walk down to the lake from camp. But the first thing I have to do is fill up my water because I came down on a light load of water. Or up, rather. A lot of up. It actually wound up being almost 2,000 feet in elevation gain. So I was off by 1,000 feet. Anyways, gonna get these filled up and then head back up to camp. Alright, so I processed 2 and bringing up a third dirty water since it's so far down here. I'll have 3 up there for now. So I'm here set up at Little Emerald Lake because Emerald Lake just past here is a day use area only. So I'll be camping here on Little Emerald Lake, a little over 10,000 feet. Day is absolutely amazing. The water back here is amazing. I went and set up here just because these rocks provide a little shelter from the wind, and the rest of this area here is a little exposed. So in the event that the wind picks up, it's fine right now, but in the event the wind picks up, because it kind of shoots through here and over through here, it's coming through here right now, but so if it picked up quite a bit, and I would imagine it's going to get pretty chilly tonight too, so some coffee, and the wind has picked up, so I have it down in this little crevice, which is working out well. This place is pretty cool. I don't know if you can make them out on the top of that rock above my tent. Their marmots are all over the place here. They just kind of poke out, hang out on the rocks, and soak in the sunshine.
With everything set up, I got to making dinner so I could just sit and enjoy the incredible view.
Tonight we're going with the chili mac. Oh yeah.
Extra calories, I add couscous to the meals.
Wow, what a perfect morning today. Well, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this journey with me. I'll see you on the next one.
As we go, live, travel.